So here we are in early October, and I just thought I'd share with you a few exceptional things that are flowering or fruiting today in the garden. And this is a wonderful evergreen tree called Schima khasiana, and it flowers in the early autumn, as you can see here. And if we look up into the top of the tree, you can see that it's absolutely plastered in flowers. Huge camellia-like flowers with very yellow centres, and if we look into the centre of this one, we see that 3 or 4 earwigs have made their home in the centre of the flower, presumably enjoying the pollen and the nectar. So even insects are around at this late in the year, achieving the pollination which this tree needs. And this has actually been out for really quite some time. The buds are really quite peculiar and globular, and the seeds, which will form, we hope, next spring, are similarly globular. The largest trees of Schima khasiana in the UK grow at Trewithen Gardens in a large clump, where they actually seed themselves onto the ground and have self-sown. This plant is quite tender, possibly more tender than the other 3 species of Schima that we know, but it certainly thrives in Cornwall and grows up to 40 or 50 feet in maturity after 60 or 80 years. It comes from northern India on the edge of the Pyrenees, and it's quite closely related to the tea family, and the plant explorers record people cooking up the leaves of this and making tea with them, much as you would with a tea camellia. And actually, when you look at the flower, it is more and more camellia-like, and you can well see that although the leaves are not that camellia-like, you can see the scent of them when you scrunch them up. It has a slightly tangy smell, which is possibly reminiscent of tea. Anyway, a startling plant for this time of the year, in absolutely full flower in the autumn. Sometimes you see southern hemisphere growing species from Chile and New Zealand which choose to flower in the autumn because that's where they belong to flower at home. But this is a Chinese or North Indian plant flowering away in the autumn.